Tim Douglas is the editor of the Australian's Review section. And Tim, you've got a secret past as a Les Misérables superfan.
I'm not sure it's a past so much as just a continuing, interminable present. But yeah, no, I love it. When I was 8 years old, I looked in the bottom of my Santa sack and there were tickets to see Les Mis in 1989 at the Theatre Royal, and I went along with my mum and dad. And it was just a really kind of life-changing moment for me. I loved every minute of it, and we had the soundtrack blasting around the house.
It's based on a novel, of course, by the Frenchman Victor Hugo, who also wrote The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And I went back this morning and read a summary of the plot of the novel, which I haven't read, but I know you have. I had thought it was about the French Revolution. That was my memory from childhood of having watched the musical, but it's really not, is it?
No, it's kind of based loosely on the June Rebellion of 1832. He started his life as a loyalist and a royalist. His father was a loyal member of Napoleon's army, and as he got older in life, he became a Republican, and that really is the kind of rich vein that runs through the middle of Les Misérables, which is, standing up to the government.
And it's a morality tale, really, isn't it, about one man's redemption?
Yeah, it's a redemptive tale centred on Jean Valjean, who sentenced to 19 years hard labour for stealing a loaf of bread to feed his family. He skips parole, decides to, go on this story of redemption where he becomes a good man and ends up becoming a mayor of a town, adopts a child, all part of this kind of Christian theme that runs through the tale itself.
It's interesting that as an 8-year-old, this was hugely appealing to you. I mean, this is a really adult story, isn't it?
It is. I was thinking about this earlier, and it was it was a revolutionary time. We're talking about 1989. This is, 8 months before the Berlin Wall came down, but there's a lot of kind of revolutionary fervour. That year, the Sydney Festival approached Cameron Mackintosh, said, we'll put on this free concert in the Domain. 135,000 people turned up, and I was one of them. And so it was a real moment. It was a great moment for Australia. And I remember that day at the Domain because it was the same day that Australia was playing the West Indies at the Sydney Cricket Ground. It was the first day of that test, which we went on to win. One of the only tests we won against the Windies in the 80s.
This is amazing markers of the young Tim Douglas. I'm learning more about you every moment. It's not dissimilar to the way Hamilton, which is about, the American Revolution, not something you would think is going to appeal to children, is very appealing to children of that age, from kind of eight years old up, isn't it?
It is, and I think the 80s was a real time for that. What was it exactly about Les Mis, and what is it about that show that continues to see it thrive in multiple iterations? The 2012 film starring Hugh Jackman and Russell Crowe and Anne Hathaway, Amanda Seyfried, of course, too, and the 2018 TV series starring Dominic West. It just seems to live on in popular culture.
Paris is a tinderbox. It'll only take a spark to set it off.
So why are we talking about it today?
So it's been 35 years since the Arena Spectacular appeared in the Domain, the open-air free concert that was part of the Sydney Festival. It's been brought back to Sydney, to the ICC, not open-air anymore, and not free either, I might add. But really interestingly, it's this incredible cast. So we've got Marina Pryor coming back. She, of course, was Cosette in the original 87 production in Sydney, and she's the only person now to have played both those roles, both ends of that musical spectrum. Cats premiered in 85 in Australia. It was Mackintosh's big, and Andrew Lloyd Webber, the big kind of push for musical theatre. We hadn't seen anything of that kind of stature before. Then Les Mis comes, of course. Les Mis is still the longest running West End show. It's still running now in London. It shut on Broadway in 2003. It had a 3-year run here. This is its third time. It's had 3 theatrical runs in Australia. This is the second arena show. But it really kind of just laid the foundation for what we're seeing now. We've got, new impresarios like Michael Castle popping up, who is, in addition to people like John Frost, etc., who are still putting on great works. Michael's kind of taken it next level, and we've got Beetlejuice coming up around the corner. Back to the Future's on its way. There's so many musicals. We weren't spoilt for choice like that 30 years ago. And so, the ongoing success of Les Mis has really laid the groundwork for, families such as ours who enjoy the arts, but also for performers and musicians and, the creative arts more generally.
It's got a real 80s theme to it, though. I mean, I don't know if it's just that you and I had our heyday in the 80s, but, that decade resonates so strongly still in what's popular in music today. We can't get away from the 80s, can we?
We can't. It's a good point. I hadn't really thought about that, but yes, you're right. Every book I pick up or every time I walk in the front door, my kids are playing Motley Crue, or maybe we're tapping back into that nostalgia. I certainly am.
Tim Douglas, thank you very much.
Thanks, Claire.